Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome, Oswald. So if you're here, I think you can just go straight into continuation. So you can start sharing your screen. Thanks. Oswald?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you share your
I think I
screen?
need,
I need to
yes, it
make you.
says
Okay.
yes. So
So I'll make you host. Once you start sharing your screen, you can make me host again.
all right. Okay. Okay. So we're back. Let me sort this out. All right.
So Oswald, you can make me host one more time.
I have.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, so we continue with this. As I said, if I'm using a MacBook, if you're using Windows, it's basically literally almost the same thing. Very similar. Let me see. Okay, so as you can see, our page has no content in it right now. No content, but has a title. So let's start creating some of them and let's start looking at the useful HTML tags. So the header, let's look at the header first. So in our page, in our header page, let's create a tag called H1 and then write something. So it's called header one. It's basically header one. And let's say, let's call it Hacklab Foundation. And then oh, I can't find my mouse. Let's create header 2. No, H2. Okay, there's a rule that says never write the same code twice. So I would have just done it very quickly in a certain way, but let me just type it all out. Header 3. There are 5 of them. H4. H5. So we've created 5 tags, and these are header tags, but there are 5 of them, and they are numbered from 1 to 5. Let's look at our web page again. Let's refresh our web page and see what that means. What the browser is going to create by after it receives those instructions. Okay, this thing is blocking my refresh. So, reload. So as you can see, our first tag is Hacklab Foundation. H1 is the biggest. Number 2 is Hacklab Foundation, H2, H3, H4, and H5. Now, if you want to see the composition of a web page, you just go to Inspect. That's what I usually use. You can use View Page Source, and you can see the entire composition here. I wish I could make this bigger. How do I do that? Okay. Thank you. All right. So you can see the HTML, the head. Inside the head, we have the title. Inside the title, we have the body. So this is the body. And you see when you hover your mouse over the body, you'll be able to see everything that is inside it. So The first one is this is highlighted. Second one, H2, H3, H4, H5. You can see all the sizes here in the box model. So these are all objects. They are not just like text that you write. I mean, it's an object that you create, and the browser takes each of them and creates them one by one, one by one. Okay. So these are header tags, and they are used to create headers, standard headings, certain specific standard header sizes for your content and all that. So let's remove all the rest, and then let's go with just H1. Then we look at using paragraphs, span, strong, and all that. So let's go to our code now. Maybe let me just leave it there. I mean, so now the paragraph tag is used to order and arrange text in a specific way. So it's when on a page, when you are pasting text, you don't just write it and drop it there. If you write this like this, oh no, let me make it make sense. Easy docs, coffee bought 5 buckets of KFC. Johnson bought 7 balls of Banku. Yeah. So if you write text like this, the browser doesn't really know how to handle it, or it's not going to handle it the way that you probably desire. So it's best to always put it in a paragraph tag to tell the browser that, Charlie, this is how we want to process this thing. We want you to treat this tag as a paragraph or as a header or as this. So let's reload this, and then let's see what we have. I'm going to right click, select reload. You see at the bottom, it has just jammed everything together, and it's just there. I think the browsers are more intelligent these days, because previously we would have just added it to everything. Now, so let's just put a paragraph tag, P tag, to say, oh, we are trying to create a paragraph. And then let's move the closing tag here. So now all the text that is in here, we manage. It still need a few tags to arrange it the way we want. As you can see, everything is still in one line. So in a browser, the fact that you've typed something into in here to say, oh, it's one line, you have put a line break here, doesn't mean that there's going to be a line break. So you actually need to use the line break character, which is tag, which is BR. You can just write BR, or you can write this and close it. When you see a tag, I mean, this should also work. You can write this, but because it's just one object and we are not going to put anything in it, there are different ways to handle. Let me add another sentence so that I show you the third way of writing it. Johnson finished the Banku before Kofi finished his. Johnson is a foodie. I mean, by Kofi standards, he's a foodie as well. But so this is the third way to write this. BR, so line break. These all work the same way. And when we come to image tags, you realize that we mostly write image tags like this. When you don't have any text that's going to go between your tag, like the way we did here with the H1s, is you can just write it, and then at the end you put a slash, then you apply attributes. Don't try to understand that right now. Just enjoy it, and then let's move on. You have a deeper understanding of it as we progress along. Okay, so these are 3 ways of writing this. Let's refresh our browser and see what we have. So as you can see, oh, I think it handled that one as 2 line breaks. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dogs. Kofi bought 5 buckets of KFC. Johnson bought this. So there's 2 of them. It's treating this as another one. So I think that has been standardized in a certain way. So if you want to have 5 lines between them, between the first one, you can just put 5 of these things. How am I doing? I'm just copying and pasting using Control+C and Control+V. So don't be bothered. It's not magic because you can't see my keyboard right now as I'm typing. Okay, so right, and then refresh. And as you can see, all these are line breaks. Now, when you come into the paragraph, you can see down here, the lower left corner, Kofi bought 5 buckets of KFC. And you can see that the browser created line break, line break, line break, line break, line break, until it came here, created another one, and then created another one. So when you see the text like this, if you see an empty space, it doesn't mean that it's empty. There's actually something there that most people, like you can't see with your eye, but let me use the 3D to show you what our web page looks like right now. So as you can see, Hacklab Foundation, these are the headers. This is the paragraph. And within the paragraph, I think the paragraph just encloses everything. So as you can see, we have these headers. When you don't give it a width, it fills the whole page. Let's convert it back. I honestly don't know why they discontinued this thing. They didn't try at all. They should have left the box. But as I said, once again, if you are just watching this video and not the first one, you can get that on Firefox 46 and below. Firefox version 46 and below. All right, let's continue. I think we need to move quickly to finish up. So these are the text ones. Let's apply different stylings to these things using bold, underline, and italics for you to see how these tags work. Bold, underline, italics. So let's remove these and just leave one. Now there's something called nesting. So we did that with head and title, body, and these ones. But you can nest your tags. That means that you can put a tag within another and create a kind of tree structure. So a tree has branches. Under the branches, there are extensions, and then there are leaves and all that. So you can create that. You can put a tag within a tag as long as it can go there. Like you can put an HTML structure tag into a paragraph tag. It doesn't make sense, but yeah, most of them work together. You can put some inside others. So when you come here, let's give this the I tag. What the I tag does is that whatever text is within it, it converts it to italics. The I tag is also used to render icons and other things. We also have the span tag. The span tag is just used to specify a specific range of text and divide it so that you can handle it differently. Let's use the U tag here. Anything within the U tag will be underlined by the browser. So as I said, we are talking to the browser. We are just telling the browser, okay, paint this picture for me. So it's like you're talking to a machine to ask the machine to paint a picture or to create a particular world that you can interact in. That's the way you need to view it. I mean, I keep saying this because a number of people see this as a drawing or something. It's not actually a drawing. You need to see yourself like as a carpenter, as a mason, as the people who do sculptures. What do we call it? Is it sculpt? Yeah, those people.
It's correct. What you're saying is correct. I don't know whether it's correct, but it's correct.
Yeah. Those people who do that. People who make pots, clay. So when you actually go on the web, just go on YouTube or somewhere or just browse Google, you can see people who are doing all kinds of crazy stuff with HTML and CSS, and they are drawing things that you think that like they were hand drawn or they were created in Photoshop or with some kind of graphic design software. But these are just objects that you write the code to instruct the browser on how to handle. The moment you get this line of thinking, when you want the browser to do something, you just instruct it. And if the browser is not doing it, you don't start going crazy. You just say, wait, did I give the browser the right instruction? What instruction did I give? Is it according to the standard that the browser understands? And thinking about it that way helps you to actually debug your application. Debugging, if you are new, debugging means testing and trying to resolve errors in your code, basically, or removing errors from your code. So this is I, this is you. Which one was the third one? Strong. Strong is used to create strong text. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you can fight the code or whatever, or if there's a fight between the different codes, this one will win. It means that it emboldens it, it creates strong text. I think there's another one called Q, right? Which is used to create quotes. I just hope it's correct. If not, we'll check. So what we've done is that in our paragraph right now, we have created italic. Oh, we've created italic text. We've created underlined text. We've set the third line to be bold text, and then the third one to be a quote. So let's check how that behaves in our browser. So as you can see, the browser received the instruction and made this text italics. The browser received the instructions and underlined the sentence. The browser received this instruction using the strong tag and made this bold text. The browser received the fourth instruction and put quotes around this. So that's how HTML works. You're basically telling the browser how to do certain things. And this is the foundation of it all. Everything in web pages is about just doing this or creating something that creates this. All right. Let me show you how to, you know what? Let's put a list aside. Links. Let's do links and images so that we can close quickly. I think we've been on for a while now. So if you want to add a link, one thing that developers do is to add links to their page. So when you go on a page, you can navigate. For example, when you go on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram on the web, you can click a button and it will take you to the profile page. You can click on somebody's picture for it to take you to another, a different location and the person's profile page. You can click on an image to open the image, full image page or something. You click on a form. Those things are created with links. And to tell a browser to create an object that when you click takes you to a new page, to load a new page, you need to use the A tag. It's called the anchor tag, but it's just represented by A. A here. So the A tag, don't really need to do this. A, then you add the link to hyperreference is www.google.com. And so when you come here, let me change this to YouTube. No, Google.com. And for these ones, you don't really need to add, okay, there'll be content, so you add it. A, and then say click here to visit Google. Okay, click here to visit Google, and then you save it. So on your page, your browser will create a link. As you can see, it has created a link here. Click to visit Google. So when you click it, it goes to Google. That's how that works. You just use the A tag. Now there's a lot of ways to manipulate these tags to achieve certain effects. Let's look at adding an image and then we move on. To add an image, you use the img tag. And then to show where the browser should go and pick up the image and come and fill it in, you need to specify the location. But here you say src, which means source. Let me just leave it for now. And because we are not going to put any content like we did with the anchor, the A tag here, we are just going to leave it like this. Let's go on Google and go and find somebody's image and use for now, without using our own thing. So, Jollof. So let's find a picture of Jollof. Oh, sorry. Mistake. Before you realize, they're going to show me that BBC Jollof or the one that they did. Nigerian Jollof or something. That's not the one we are looking for. We are looking for Ghanaian Jollof, which is the best. All right. Okay. Let's go to images. Which one? Yeah, this one looks solid. Yeah, this is it. With the 3 pieces of chicken. So you can copy the link, the image link. Oh, let me see. Let's open the actual page. By the way, this is not an advertisement for the owner of the page. Let's just know that we are just trying to borrow their image. Okay, I mean, at least we can still promote them a bit while we are doing that. So if you click on view image, you can copy the link and then come to the SRC attribute. So now we've started using attributes. This is a tag, and when you write something in the opening section, it's an attribute, and whatever is between the quotation marks is the value of that attribute. So over here, we have an image and we specify the source. So let's save it now. Let's check what our browser will give us. You know what? Let me put this here. And then reload our page. So Jollof has appeared on our page, so that's how it works, basically. Now you can continue to use the attribute to set the sizes and all that, which is, I think it's still basic knowledge. So let's say we want to set the size, heights. And in setting size, the initial ones are height and width. Height should be, let's say 200. I don't know if this one handles it in pixels. Height, width, 200, whatever standard definition it decides to use. And then we refresh. So as you can see, it has converted this page height and width. And why did it put it here? Because we didn't put a line break so that it would come onto a new line. It was just because it was too big that it went down. So let's add a line break here between this and this. I'm using 2 so that we have enough space. All right. Okay, so that's how to use an image in your web page. These are the tools, and with this kind of page, you can create anything. So now when we go on the website and want to look at the text, and when we look at it, we can understand a lot of what is going on there. Sorry. Images, links. We've not talked about lists. I think it's not necessary to learn in this session. Look at images. Now let's go to a website and try to understand what is going there using the knowledge that we have and try to understand what is going on the web page. So let's go to these Jollof friends who gave us the link to the Jollof. Okay. or let's just use Visual Studio Code. So on this page, you can easily design this page using only the tools that I have shared. Okay, no, not only only those ones, but I mean, you can design this page using it. What do we have here? You can use a header tag to create this, and then you add a little styling, free and built on open source. You can see that everything that we did already was aligned to the left. Now, if you want to align it to the right, you need to add additional instructions, which we don't need to learn here. Free and built on open source, debugging. This is an image. This is an image. Oh, okay, it's a div class logo, and then they apply a background. These are advanced styles of running a thing, but I mean, you can just drop an image there to copy it. An image. Then below this, you give a space here. This is an object, probably a div, or you can write text and then style it. That's how web pages are built. And this one that we created is our first web page.
Oswald, if you can hear
Yeah.
me, I think you can answer this before you move on. So Lorenzo in the chat is asking that if you have the image on your computer, how do you insert it?
All right. So let me borrow this image from this website. First of all, you need to always make sure that the image that you're copying is not locked by copyright. Make sure that you're allowed to use it. So one way to find that is to search royalty-free Ghanaian jollof. Hey, somebody's annotating certain things on the screen.
Right. I think I've removed the person.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So let me save the image. Nigerian jollof. Oh, this was Nigerian jollof. Or maybe they started learning from Ghana because it looks okay. Anyway, done. Nigerian jollof. Save it. Let's save it in our recent places. I'm saving it directly in first web page. That's the folder that I have.
Also, kindly clean the drawing so that we can have the clear screen for you alone.
Okay, can I clean? Okay, okay, annotate. Erase.
Oh no, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks.
Sure. So if you have the image on your computer, all you do is you come to the SRC tag. Let me create a new one. And there's a rule. There's a, just because I don't want to rewrite it. Usually when you start coding, this is what you'll be doing. You'll not be rewriting a lot of these things. SRC. Now you can see on the left here, this has appeared, Nigerian-jollof.jpg. Charlie. This thing has affected my branding power. I was branding for Ghanaian jollof and now it has become Nigerian jollof. Nigerian. And you see, if you use Visual Studio Code, it suggests the image for you so that you don't have to type the whole thing so that you can know the specific name. If you don't write the name exactly with the extension, it's not going to work. Unless you're using a framework which can pick up the extension. You need to write the name with the extension. Okay, so let's do the same thing, but let's put a line break here. Okay, as well. And then let's try to reload it. So there are two images here. One is being loaded from a web page outside the browser, outside our environment. And then another one is being loaded from within our project. So if you are using it, you can decide to link or just put it in there. But always make sure that you are using royalty-free images. Let's inspect and see everything that we've done so far, and then we end. So we created a header, Hacklab Foundation. This, click to visit there, yeah. Then we created a paragraph which had certain kinds of objects handled in certain ways. Now click to visit this line break. Then we loaded an image from a website. And then we loaded an image from our own computer. These are the very basic building blocks of every web page that you see. See, whether it's Amazon or Facebook, this is it. This is basically what is going on there. Additional styling attributes and instructions with the browser to do certain things. But with this, you can build your first web page as well. You can, as I said, we can build this web page. This is simply a collection of images that are displayed in a certain way. And you can copy this web page in a few minutes. No, not a few minutes, sorry. I mean, in a few, okay, depending on your skill level, minutes, days, and all. Now, there are other options. If you want to build web pages and you don't want to code, we have WordPress, Wix, amongst others. But if you want to be a web developer, you don't go straight there. It's important for you to come to learn these basics first, so that when you go on WordPress and you go on Wix and you see an image being added, you can click to see the code. It makes you a better developer. If not, you run into something that you cannot understand and then you end up looking somewhere else. So this is the basic way to do it. I recommend as an assignment that you find a web page that you like, a very simple one like this, and then you copy it. But also, this is simply a demonstration of how web pages are built, what is used to build them, and how they work. And I recommend that you go and get a proper course, a full course, where you learn how to build websites, web pages, the frameworks, and a lot more than we have learned here today. So thank you very much for joining. I'm handing over to Lily now.
Right. Oswald, thank you so much. This was extensive. Even with my basic front-end skills, I still picked something from this. And I think you've done a really good job for beginners, intermediates, and even experts in the field. So I'm going to allow for questions. We have very few minutes to go, like 6 minutes. And I think we can wrap this off so that we don't have to join the call again. So if you have a question, kindly put up your hand, be precise or concise, should I say, and Oswald answers us. So please put up your hand. If you have a question, I would allow you to speak, or you can unmute and speak, and then we can have it answered for you. So it's time for questions now. So Oswald, if you can see in the chat, Danny is saying that very educative, Oswald, and great presentation. Yes, thank you. So Kweku Boache, you can unmute and speak so that we can answer you quickly.
Hello, please can you hear me?
Yes, please, Kweku.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Thank you, Oswald. Thank you for such a wonderful presentation.
Welcome.
My question is not too related to what you had about. I think it's remotely related. I'm from the construction and real estate sector, right? Mm-hmm. So, and I've been following your Twitter, and I see how you are so very much happy about technology and its impact on our society going into the future. I want to know, how would you advise a professional in the construction sector to take very seriously when it comes to technology moving forward? Someone in the construction sector, what side of technology would you advise someone from that industry to look into very much going into the future?
Okay, all right. So yeah, thank you very much. In the construction sector, it depends on what you are doing. If you are training people, if you are managing your work, there are different kinds of tools, digital tools that you can use. I mean, if you are managing your work, I mean, designs and all of that, you need to look at managing your projects online, using project management tools to order what you're doing, categorize all your designs and manage your workflows, your roadmaps, so and manage issues with things assigned for people to be able to handle them. Secondly, I believe that digital art and 3D modeling and all that is very important in your work. So you should be able to create 3D models of these things using AutoCAD, Sketch, and those other applications that you use. And thirdly, one thing that is coming up now is virtual reality and augmented reality, whereby people who are not at your physical location can have an experience of what you are creating. So if you want to, you have a demonstration, for example, COVID-19, you need to demonstrate something to people in Dubai, to some investors or something, people who are you are working with. You can use 3D tours and virtual reality tours and amongst others to create realistic images and tours of your work, of your project sites, and or of already completed buildings and things that you are working on to demonstrate to people. Digital marketing is also available. I don't know a lot of construction companies that source their clients from general, maybe social media or general consumers. I think maybe mostly you work with organizations and other kinds of businesses that approach you to do things, but you can use social media platforms to demonstrate your work, to show people this, and this helps you to have a track record. So if you have a website as well, people can go on there, learn about your projects. If you can build a website for your construction company, people go on there, look at the previous work that you've done. They can see the designs, future work that you're going to do. They get information on it. I think there are a number of real estate websites on there, but I think if I open any of them now, it's going to be free promo. So I'm not going to do that. I mean, you can start with a website and put in all these kinds of content on there. Taking advantage of these technologies that are available is going to immediately, if you do it now, it's going to make you stand out from other construction companies. People that you work with will feel that you are very professional and you present things well. And also people will be able to experience your work and certain details and amongst others that they wouldn't normally be able to appreciate if there weren't any digital platforms that you were delivering these things through.
Thank you, Oswald. You're right on time, and we have 1 minute to go. But for people who want to stay in touch with you, kindly drop in the chat your email address or say your Twitter handle. And people already know you on Twitter very well, so you can just drop that in the chat. And somebody asked what the Hacklab Foundation is about, so I'm going to leave our URL to the site in the chat. But let me just share with you that we are a not-for-profit organization in Ghana, and we use programs like this and more to advance IT for young people. So it's IT for development, and we have the Hacklab IBM program, which this is under, where we teach people how to use the IBM platform and to pick basic skills that we use for their everyday life. We also have the Hacklab hubs in tertiary institutions, and we are popular for the annual hackathon, where people code around a particular topic and investors are able to engage them and more. So I'm going to leave in the chat our website URL, and you can visit it. Thank you for joining, everyone. Sorry, everyone. If you can hear me, or were you hearing me the whole time? I think you did. But we are ending now, and I'll share the recording for everyone who wants it. In fact, if you registered, you receive it, and then the link will be put on social media too. So thank you. For the person who asked about Hacklab, in the chat, I have put our URL, and we use IT to do many things for towards development. So thank you everyone for joining, and also I shared his handle on Twitter, and you can get in touch. Thank you so much.